Hello. Thank you for joining me. This is Michelle with Our First Steps. And today we're going to be talking about that very forgotten fourth trimester, if you've ever heard that term before. It's when, after a baby's born, that first few months when, it can be very challenging and we are left, being sent home with a brand new baby or babies plural. And at times you're sitting there wondering what to do, what to eat, why you're feeling certain ways. And no one really helps you with that unless you take responsibility and read on your own or get on the internet. And who has time for that? And it can be very overwhelming at times. But thank you so much for joining me as we go through what this trimester means and how important it is and how you can take care of yourself so you could be the best mother possible. So, your baby is here. Now what? So, some things to think about that are going on in your body, just so you're aware, because the more you know and understand, the more connection you have to your body. And your body is a wonderful thing. You shouldn't hate it. You shouldn't be angry with it. You should understand it and embrace it. Feed it, nourish it, so you can have this wonderful temple of love, laughter, energy. Among some sleepless nights. I know that's kind of hard, but hormonal shifts are happening within the first few days and up to 2 weeks. So your body's kind of realigning itself. So forgive it that it's just adjusting, just as you are adjusting to your life with your new baby and figuring each other out. Your body and your mind are healing. This is your body went through so much, whether you had a vaginal birth or cesarean. Your body went through a lot, and depending on what was put inside of you as well, and if you've had a cesarean and you're healing, it's a big deal, and you should make it a big deal and take that into consideration. You have so many people that want to visit you. Um, I wish I did this of having pretty much only my mom, or if you have a postpartum doula, visiting you within that first month. Everyone wants to see you as soon as you get home. It's overwhelming. You're just trying to get yourself back into the world that you were in before. And you need to take care of yourself and nourish yourself and feed yourself well and rest and not have to worry about entertaining people. And if you do have people coming to your home, have them help you. And they love to do it. And you hold baby, you take care of your baby. Don't let other people take your baby for a long period so they can play with it, or cuddle with it, whatever. They will have plenty of time to do that. It's your time to bond with your baby and establish if you're breastfeeding, establish those habits and that connection. Your partner many times has to go back to work, so that can be very overwhelming when they walk out that door and you wonder what your day is even going to be like. The pressure to go back to work, and when, if you do choose to do that or not, it can be a very overwhelming feeling, and you can have kind of an identity crisis during that time. You may feel a little isolated. I know I did. I felt like I didn't know anyone. A lot of my friends had babies, 5 to 10 years before I did. And I just felt like I didn't know anyone that was going through what I was going, and I didn't want to bother anyone. So that gave me created some isolation as well of me not extending myself out to get help. And that goes in turn with, feeling guilty asking for help. People love to give information and what they've experienced and how they can help you and advice they have. As a woman, we love to do that. We love to share. So ask the world, go, establish yourself in a mommy group before your baby's even there, just to get some connections and to, get some great advice that's out there. Are you overwhelmed by all the information that's out there? Someone like me can help you sort through what to filter out, what you can control, and what you can't. And it's a lot of information that is thrown at you this entire past year of being pregnant, and even more so when you're sitting there with baby and so is telling you to do this. Another book's telling you to do this. Online's doing this. The Today Show told you to do this. So it's there's contradictory information, and we have to be in tune with our mama instincts. Most of the time they are right, and most of the time we know what to do, and we just need to trust ourselves. And then in the world of breastfeeding, do you feel you have the support out there? I joined a breastfeeding support group. It was the best thing I ever did. I went every week, even when things were going well, because you never know when the next day something, you think everything's going fine and you and your baby are in sync. And the next day something's going wrong and you're like, I don't know what to do. Yesterday was perfect and today is chaotic. So having that support around you, and I made, one of my greatest friends through my breastfeeding support group. And the next thing we'll talk about is perfection is impossible. So the world of Facebook, when you do get advice, filtering out things that may make you feel like you're comparing yourself to what others are doing and why your baby or why you aren't feeling a certain way. And that goes back to trusting your motherly instincts and trusting your inner self of who you are, what kind of mother you want to be, what your values are, and getting out of the world of comparison, because it can be brutal and send you into, a downward spiral. So, and also knowing that mistakes can make you grow. I actually believe and hope that my daughter makes a lot of mistakes, because that is the way that I have learned the best. That's the way many people have learned the best. And to not make the same mistake twice, to figure out what's not going to work, because you and your baby are individuals, and what works for someone may not work for you or your baby. So just recognizing that and acknowledging it and being okay with that. So this was my reality. So even though I was posting beautiful pictures of my baby on Facebook, the reality is that I was not sleeping. My baby was up every hour or two. There were many nights she was crying. I didn't know what to do. I'm doing the 5 S's. I'm shushing. I'm swaddling. I'm reading. I'm online. And, I was going crazy. And then the next day it was like I was doing it all over again. So for a couple months, slept on this couch, which to this day I really can't sit in that spot. Because my husband had to work, and, I didn't want to wake him, every hour or two with her crying and me not knowing, what to do and possibly taking it out on him. So Brooklyn and I had our sacred space. I put on some Golden Girls and random TV at night, and we survived. So like I said, you and your family are unique, and so is your story. And here are some wonderful quotes that you can take home with you, that you can maybe just cut out and put on your mirror, put on your refrigerator, in all the world of uniqueness, that you have your own story. You write your own story. Don't let anyone else write it. And if you, pay attention to your present days, what you're doing, you will have amazing advice to give other people and to share, instead of, following everyone else's, journey. I believe in taking advice and listening to it and kind of grabbing pieces from everyone's advice on what's going to work best for you. And this quote is also wonderful. In the end, I am the only one who can give my children a happy mother who loves life. And that is what the goal is, to be a happy mother, to be healthy, so you can be the best mother. And it is okay to be selfish. And that word has a negative connotation, but we need to realize that taking care of ourselves is the best way to be the best mother possible. And so why is this stage forgotten? Why are you you leave the hospital and with your baby and it's like, bye, see you in 6 weeks. Pregnancy is, considered a lot of times to be still a medical condition. And so is your birth. So, a lot of times when all of that is done, you are sent home. There's nothing more to do other than a follow-up visit. Aftercare is definitely minimal with your doctor. You're kind of expected naturally what to do, or you'll figure it out, or you'll reach out if you have, questions or you need anything. Um, support groups are so important, like I was talking about earlier. So if you can't find any in your area that resonate with you, create your own and hire, as well as hire, someone to help educate you on all this. The emotional care is just as important as the physical care. So, talking to someone professionally, talking to your friends, family, whoever you need to talk to, new mommies in these support groups that aren't your best friends, aren't your family members, are sometimes a great way to let out things that you may not be comfortable with people that are really, close to you. And you will actually, doing that will allow you to get closer to these women and others in your area. And then it seems like most nutritional guidance that you're given or that's out there is, for the world of breastfeeding, which is so important. And luckily, what I teach in regards to feeding our bodies and our minds and our souls goes hand in hand with how you should be eating while you're nursing. So let's focus on you and putting that oxygen mask on first. So you've taken such good care of yourself throughout your pregnancy. So why just stop blatantly once your baby is born? Um, and again, I was talking about earlier about, just healing and taking maybe that month with no visitors, what a lot of cultures call the laying in period, where the mother is taken care of and given nourishing foods to rebuild her strength and promote her milk production. If you hurt someone's feelings, you will win those feelings back eventually with that baby and your love for that family member or friend. It's okay to say, you know what, we're just not ready. We're healing. We're just getting ourselves back in the groove of things. We'd love to see you in, whatever date you want to choose. Um, and then I also said, joining a mom's group before baby is born. And no one ever really thinks of that. Or in your prenatal yoga classes or anything you're doing, establishing some friendships and keeping in touch and, especially when everyone's babies are born and just, getting some good, strong foundations and friendships, no matter how different you all are. So hiring a postpartum doula is something that I wish that I did. And if I was having another child, I would do in a heartbeat. There are great, resources out there in regards to, wonderful doulas that can help you focus on establishing your breastfeeding routine and song and dance and giving yourself, nourishment, giving yourself sleep and helping you. It's okay. You're going to be a better person for it. No one needs a zombie walking around crying, frustrated, angry, not enjoying anything that they're doing during this period because they don't have the help that they need. It's actually a strength to ask for help. So again, the world of sleep, that's right below that. And then talking to someone professionally. If you're just not feeling the right way, it's okay to get help. Get out of the house for a little bit. Bring your baby with you and nurse, while you're talking. At the earliest stages, I wish realized how transportable my child was and how I could have, bring her anywhere. So nourishing you, and keep saying this, it's smart. It's not selfish. So eating for breastfeeding and then beyond, how you're eating during breastfeeding should be the way that you're eating for the rest of your life. So just the way, if you're eating healthy now, amp it up and carry it through the rest of your life. And that means focusing on nutrient dense foods, healing foods, and avoiding inflammatory foods that can prevent healing or, you know, lengthen the healing process. So I have many healing foods that I've given you to focus on during this time. Bone broth, make some bone broth. There's a great crock pot. There's many crock pot recipes, but Yummy Tummy has a wonderful, easy recipe that takes less time than on the stovetop. And it's literally just dumping everything in. And while you're healing, drinking that soup, sauteing with it, whatever you want to do. It's the most amazing food, but there's many other other foods out there that I've given you that you can take home. Foods rich in healthy fats, that will help you with, metabolism, energy, brain functioning. You want that brain to be healthy too, especially when we're talking about baby blues and postpartum depression, alleviating a little bit of the symptoms if, you happen to come upon those. And then foods that help milk production and quality. So I've listed here on the page many things that can help: oats, barley, root vegetables, green leafy vegetables whenever possible, healthy fats. And those include things like coconut oil, olive oil, grass fed butter, and many fish. The fattier fish will help, ensure that your breast milk is high quality and, will help with production. But again, if you're having any issues with production or challenges, reach out to your local hospital for support or groups in the area. Just do your research and find a group that resonates with you and can help you. Drinking plenty of water, having that water right next to you while you nurse, and almost simultaneously just keep hydrating yourself and making yourself eat, setting reminders on your phone if you need to, having an accountability partner, having a nosh plate next to you just so it's accessible and you don't just get lazy and say, just having something there next to you. So again, the nibble tray is what I talked about with morning sickness. A nibble tray in general, I think, is great for just the lifetime. Stocking your kitchen with nutrient dense foods. What you have in your kitchen is what you'll eat. So just having things in front of you that are healthy and nutrient dense versus things that give you no nutritional value at all and, possibly, lengthen the healing process and can affect your mind and your happiness and serotonin levels, because the gut brain connection is very real and is affected by the foods that you eat. Paying attention to foods while nursing and how your baby reacts to them. So if there's a lot of reflux going on, or any a large amount of irritability, paying attention to what you're eating while your baby, when you're nursing, so you can eliminate foods. The usual culprits are, your eggs and your dairy, but just paying attention and logging things down. And then continue with your prenatal vitamins. And as well as, I am a big proponent of fish oil. If you are a vegetarian or you just aren't the fish oil fan, flaxseed oil can also be something that you can think about. This is not the time to diet. I have many women that come to me after baby just so eager to get the baby weight off, get back into shape. This is just another period of time within this that you need to focus on other things besides your physical, appearance, your weight, if your tummy's toned, if you're, just don't even go on the scale. I don't really believe in scales, in all honesty. During this time while you're breastfeeding, it's just another time where you need to focus on the most nourishing foods out there. I have women asking me about cleanses and, shake programs and things. You do not want to focus on anything that is not going to that isn't naturally detoxifying your body like your liver does, naturally. Any of these cleanses are super harsh on your body and are going to release things into your breast milk, and therefore your baby is going to be ingesting that as well. So don't focus on weight loss, don't focus on the baby weight, focus on eating the most nourishing. If you're eating nourishing, healthy, whole, real foods, every color of the rainbow, you will not have to worry about losing that baby weight. I promise you. Preparing is also very important. So just whether you do a batch cooking class and get some things stocked up in your freezer, asking your friends if they do want to help you out, just making sure that they're healthy meals and not super unhealthy fats, casseroles, and things like that just aren't going to give you the energy and nourish your body. And just maybe prepping some smoothie bags to just make and all the veggies and fruits you want to do. So you can just dump in your blender, or your partner can do that. But just making sure that your fridge is stocked with things, and you're prepared ahead of time instead of panicking and just grabbing whatever is available. Health, and that goes into the healthy meal delivery companies, whether the meals are already made or if they take the 35 minutes or less. I've given you all some great resources of companies in our area that, as well as outside of the state, that deliver right to your door, easy, healthy, nourishing meals that are quick, and convenient. And if anything too, grabbing some friends and before baby is born, and have a cooking class, a batch cooking thing of your own with crock pots all out. You guys can all make your favorite meals and then bag them up or put them in jars where you can freeze everything, take home and freeze everything. And it's just a nice way to spend some time with your friends as well. And then paying attention to how your body and mind feel, with certain foods. I say this even regardless of pregnancy. If something is irritating you, giving you indigestion, giving you kind of a brain foggy feeling, lack of energy, giving you a lot of gas, log all this stuff. And, if things are doing this, avoiding those things, it's okay. Even if something's healthy, like broccoli, if it's giving you constant gas, that means that your body's having a hard time digesting it. So just paying attention that there's plenty of other things to eat. And then I keep saying ask for live help and support, whether that's someone like me as a health coach. Reach out to your doctor, your nurses, lactation consultants, doulas, anyone you could possibly think of, that can help you. We are all a tribe and we all help each other when it comes to healing and raising our families. Here's some wonderful breakfast ideas, that I, just visually would like to share with you. Things that you can freeze, things that you can do overnight, focusing on healthy fats, quality proteins, and whole grains is, your goal, and things rich in fiber. Some wonderful lunch options, that you can, think about, which, I always have told people what I love doing is making mason jar salads and having your friends over and all doing a bunch of mason jar salads for the week. So all you're doing is shoving everything in, all the different wonderful vegetables. Don't put the dressing in, but just stock them up in your fridge, and then throughout the week you dump it on a plate, drizzle with some olive oil, some lemon, crackle some salt and pepper on, maybe a couple herbs and spices on top, and you've got a wonderful salad. Adding in not only just fruits and veggies, but some proteins like garbanzo beans and other types of beans and seeds and nuts. Soups are amazing. So again, the world of bone broth, making some great soups. You can even just put some bone broth and some steamed veggies in a blender and blend that up, and you've got soup right there. How easy is that? And then who says that you have to have eggs for breakfast? So frittatas or just scrambling some eggs and vegetables, takes no time. And what's great with the frittata, whether you do it in little cups or you do it in a dish, is you can cut the frittata in the dish and freeze for those emergency times, and thaw or microwave them out, as well as if you do them in cups. So it's a great way to stock up on some great healthy breakfasts that are easy, especially with kiddos. And then dinner, I was talking about the freezer meals, have your friends over for the crock pots, fatty fish and vegetables, leafy greens, just focusing on, the below picture is an alternative to your grain pastas, which I have, the Vegetti Pro. So using squash or sweet potatoes or, regular potatoes to make noodles. And then, I love shrimp and the nutrients in shrimp and shellfish. and just making, things ahead of time in bags and putting them in your fridge, when you can. Having that Sunday night with your family and doing it as a team, putting some great music on, just jamming out and making some meals for the weekend, planning ahead so there's no panic and bad decisions that are usually made in the panic. And then I also have some wonderful snacks. I love the one my daughter loves where I have a whole wheat tortilla I spread with almond butter, and then I put a banana down the middle, sprinkle with some chia or hemp seeds, maybe a little drizzle of honey, and then I roll it up and cut it. And these are little bite-sized things filled with protein, potassium, fiber, iron, nutrients, and the whole grains, which is a great snack for her. But I like them, as well, and it's easy and fast. There are wonderful healthy cookies out there. I've given some recipes out in the with the morning sickness handout that I gave with snacks that you can look at, freeze, for those times and take a few out a day just to thaw out. Or my daughter likes to eat the cookies frozen, especially when she was like getting like a tooth in, like a molar in the back. Um, Perfect bars are my favorite bars. They are nut butter based. And so you get really good healthy fats. I am so full after I eat one of those bars. And my daughter actually eats one for breakfast. And then the Omega bars, which you can get at Target. The perfect bars you can get online as well as some of your health food stores like Fruitful Yield. And I believe Whole Foods now holds them. But Omega you can get at Target now. Not all the flavors, but anything that you see flavor wise that's not at Target, you can order online. So that is it for the fourth trimester. Well, it's a lot of information. I just, don't want any of you to feel overwhelmed during this time. It's a time that's still important. Those first few months are very delicate in regards to your body and your mind healing. You need to take care of yourself and avoid feeling isolated, alone, constantly questioning yourself. The world around you is there to help you. People like me are there to help you, that you have love around you, you have support. You also can do things, and you need to trust yourself that you can do it and that you can make some wonderful decisions to be proud of. And you don't have to rely on everyone around you, but everyone around you is there to support you. And just please focus on feeding yourself the right foods and using me as a resource, reaching out to me if you have any questions, and just trying to enjoy this time as much as you possibly can. I thank you so much for joining. Again, my name is Michelle from Our First Steps, and I look forward to staying in touch with all of you, and congratulations to each of you.